Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to this brand new theory video on Riverdale. Today I'm going to be discussing how I think that Betty's actual brother, not Chick, but Charles Smith, could actually be the man behind the Black Hood. Now I have so much evidence supporting this theory from the new episode, so this video will discuss details from Riverdale season 2 episode 19, so if you haven't watched it yet, major spoiler alert, but anyway, let's get straight into the theory. So it turns out that Chick isn't actually Betty's brother at all and that he's a total imposter. So Betty and Jughead got a real photo of Charles Smith when they did what they probably should have done weeks ago, went to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy to look at Chick's records from his childhood there. The photo showed a curly-haired kid that was not the Chick staying in the Cooper house, and it immediately became clear that whoever was just brooding at the Cooper house is not Alice's actual son. So they went back to the house, and then they wasted no time showing the photo to Alice and Chick, and then knocking Chick out when he grabbed a knife and began attacking them after being exposed. And then they tied him up in the Cooper's basement, and once he is tied up and they start interrogating him, Chick starts to spill the truth, and he said that he met Charles Smith on the streets and moved into that shady motel with him, and there he said that Charles told Chick about the Coopers, saying that they were a perfect family in Riverdale who wholly rejected him. And to drive the point home, Chick recounted a story about how Charles came knocking on the Cooper's door one day and Alice shooed him away, which Alice then confirmed to be true because she got really upset about it. And then he finally claims that Charles developed a drug addiction and overdose on Jingle Jangle and died. And then afterwards, Alice breaks down in tears over her guilt, Jughead becomes enraged at the lies, and Betty immediately begins to turn a critical eye on Chick's claims. And after a call from the newly active Black Hood, Betty brings Jughead with her to snoop around the hotel where Charles and Chick live together and learn from their neighbour that the boys actually fought all the time, and that the day Charles disappeared, some bloody sheets were found in the trash. However, when Betty confronts Chick with the accusation that he killed Charles, Chick refuses to reveal the truth because then again he's already said that, he overdosed on Jingle Jangle and that's how he died, but clearly there might be another side to it. Finally, Betty makes a decision to turn Chick over to the Black Hood for execution, and she leads him out to a graveyard at gunpoint and suggests he begins running once the Black Hood appears. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that the Black Hood didn't actually try to kill Betty either, or I'm also surprised that Betty didn't shoot the Black Hood. Like, she could have done it right there, but she didn't, which is really weird to me. Like, seriously, what the hell? And the ending is super unsettling for a number of reasons. First and foremost, it shows how much closer Betty and the Black Hood have grown, and Betty's darkness has been an understated theme of this season, and with the Black Hood's return, it also comes an increase in his correspondence with Betty. And with the two growing closer in principles, we might be seeing a scary side of Betty before season 2 ends, which is kind of a little bit freaky, but it's also going to add a nice twist to the story if that does happen. And the other major thing we learn is that Chick is not the Black Hood, since we saw Chick and the Black Hood in the same place, and on top of that, the Black Hood presumably kills Chick at the end of the episode, and Chick has been a major Black Hood suspect for a long time now, so this is pretty much a shocking news. But although it seems too clear Chick being the head of honcho behind all these recent murders, it's still possible that he may have somehow been involved. For instance, Chick could have been working for the Black Hood and simply outlived his usefulness, and there's also the possibility that Chick lied about Charles Smith's death, and that Alice's real son is the actual man behind the mask, and that would be an insane twist. And that kind of makes sense a tiny bit because, Chick already lied about how Charles died, presuming he is dead once. He said that he overdosed on Jingle Jangle, and then he changed the story saying that he accidentally killed him, he didn't mean to hurt him and stuff, and that he, his ego consumed him. So maybe he's still lying again, he just had to change the story because the Black Hood was standing right behind him. I don't know, it's kind of a quick theory, but if you guys like this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below on what other theories you want me to cover, and I will see you in the next theory. Bye.